Okay, yeah. Let's solve this question. It's fine if you have not got the answer, not completed the question, it's fine because this is more of a discussion question. Okay, which I want. Okay, I'll look here. Now, very interesting question. Huh? Pay proper attention here, and very important also. Not this question. The discussion is very important. Okay, I'll look here. The question is x greater than y? Okay, yes or no? Fine. Now, nothing to simplify algebraically. Okay, the question, even the statement, I don't know how to connect the question to the statement algebraically. I cannot cancel 3 3, and nothing is there where I can directly establish a relation between the question and the statement. Now, it's a yes no question, correct? So I'm just asking anyone here who thought 1 alone is sufficient, thinking that कि अगर x 3y से greater है तो y से definitely greater होगा. Okay, Anna, Rashi, Anshu, Aishwari. Okay, fine. This was a trap. This statement 1 itself was a trap. Okay, the whole statement was a trap here. As I just said earlier, do not try any algebra which you are not sure with. Okay, and we have seen this. Why these things do not work in inequalities? Why so many traps and tricks? Why things which ideally should work are not working in inequalities? What is the single common reason? Oh, what if it is negative? That is also the reason here. Now have a look here. When you say if x is greater than 3y, obviously x has to be greater than y. Here you are assuming that things are positive because this happens in real world with positive people. Like for example, imagine, and why are we thinking like this? Because in real world things are positive. People, okay, balls, marbles, everything is positive. So if I'm asking you, okay, I can fight x is greater than 3y. Let's say x is my power. My power is x. And I can fight x is greater than 3y. That means I can fight 3 people, 3 y's easily because my power is greater than 3 y's power combined. X is greater than 3. I can fight 3 people. This is the statement information. The question is, can I just fight a single y? Obviously, if I can fight 3 people, I can definitely fight 1 person. 1 out of those 3, definitely. But you see, people by default are positive. Okay, variables could be negative also. So, and you know what happens in negative? Everything becomes reverse. Okay, so that is the case here. Have a look here. So they say x is greater than 3y. Okay, so I'm not going to take any chance with algebra because it could be very risky. It's not simple evident algebra. Okay, fine. I am chupchap going to take values for x and y in the first statement. Okay, these are the statements. So I'll say, okay, fine, statement mein, the first statement. This is how my rough work should look like. Okay, x and y, or you know what? I can take it here only. It's better. So start with any random value you can think of. The easiest values I can think is 4 and 1 because 4 is greater than 3 into 1. The question becomes, is 4 greater than 1? Yes. I just took a random example, okay, and I got yes as the answer. See, this is a general approach. I took a random example like 4 and 1. I got yes as the answer. Now, what should my approach now after this? Try to get a no. How do I check yes is always the answer or not? Try for a no. Can I get a no? Can I get a no? Think in the direction of no. How a no is possible. If you try your level best and no, if you realize that no is not possible, then you will give up and you will say, okay, fine. I tried my level best to get a yes, but I could not. To get a no, but I couldn't. So perhaps yes is the only possible answer and statement is sufficient. Something like that. But I'll at least try for a no. Okay, let me just try for a no. But my values should fit in the first statement. Statements are qualifiers. You cannot go against a statement. Only those values you are allowed to take to use in the question which fit in the statements. Okay, fine. Now I took a positive value of y, 1. Let me take a negative value of y, minus 1. Small values, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Minus 2, minus 1, because minus 3 into minus 1 becomes minus 3. And yes, it is true that minus 2 is greater than minus 3, so I have taken qualified values. But the question is not about x and 3y. The question is about x and y. So the question becomes, is minus 2 greater than minus 1? You say no. Arjun, you keep on messaging. I keep on getting distracted, okay, for no reason. Don't do that, please. There's no need. You will anyway eventually understand, yeah, when I discuss. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. One alone is insufficient. Any doubt in what I've just explained in statement 1? Okay. Statement 2. Mod x less than mod y. Start with any random values, 1 and 2. Our favorite values, 1 and 2, no problem. The question becomes here. See what is the question? Question becomes, is 1 greater than 2? You say no, 1 is not greater than 2. So you get an answer of no. Okay, I got a no. I'll try for a yes. Okay. No need to put a mod here. I mean, mod is there. So 1 is less than mod of minus 2. Yeah, fine. Anyways, fine. But the question is not about mod. The question is just about y without the mod. The question becomes now 1 and minus 2. Question becomes, is 1 greater than minus 2? You get a yes. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Insufficient. 2 is also insufficient. Any doubt in statement 2? What I've just explained in blue. Okay. Now, both of them are independently insufficient. So now I have a right to combine. Okay. Now, the answer is either C or E. Correct. Now, understand, this is a very important thing here. How do you, so this is, I was telling you, this is a special question because it goes till the end. It will go till the end. Now, the important thing that we are going to learn here is that how do we combine in inequalities the two statements? How do we combine these two statements? Basically, it is because it's not just two statements, these are actually values which you need to combine. How do we combine? Now, what we mean by combine in general, in data sufficiency, combining means intersection of values. Combining means only those values you are allowed to take which qualify in both the statements together. Okay. So now what happens after combining? After combining, only those values will be allowed to filter out which fit in both the statements. Now, let's start with the orange values. Okay, these orange values, let's start with 4 and 1. 4 and 1 was fitting in statement 1. That's the reason we have written it here, correct? If 4 and 1 wants to come outside here, it has to also qualify in the second statement because now we are combining. The problem is that 4 and 1 will not qualify here because 4 is not, mod of 4 is not less than mod of 1. So after combining 4 and 1 cannot come outside. Okay, minus 2 minus 1, it fits in the first statement, but if at all it wants to come out, yeah, it also has to fit in the second statement. If you put minus 2 minus 1 in the second statement, it will not fit. Mod of minus is not less than mod of minus 1. So this is also, after combining, I cannot bring this out. Okay, now let's look at the blue values which were for statement 2. These blue values, if they want to come out, they also have to fit in the first statement because we are combining both of them. 1 and 2 is what we took. 1 and 2 will not fit in the first statement which says x is greater than 3y. Yeah, 1 and 2, it will become 1 is greater than 6, which is not true. So 1 and 2 doesn't fit here. So after combining, I cannot take 1 and 2. But after combining, I can take 1 and minus 2 because 1 and minus 2 which fits here also fits in the first statement. 1 is greater than 3 into minus 2, which is minus 6. Yes, 1 is greater than minus 6. Yeah, that means it qualifies. When I say yes, it fits, it is not this yes, no, wala yes, it's just that it qualifies. So after combining, I can take 1 minus 2 or even minus 1 minus 2 for that matter. When I say 1 minus 2 means what? Similar kind of values, 1 minus 2, 2 minus 3, 3 minus 4, and so on. When I say minus 1 minus 2 means what? And similar values like minus 2 minus 3 or minus 4 minus 6 kind of things. Okay, and now we know that, yeah, we know that these values gave us a yes and yes here. So here also they are going to give us after combining because they fit here. We no need to check what again here because we know that these are going to give us yes and yes. We already seen that earlier when we were evaluating statement 2 alone. We already saw that they are giving us yes in the question. So after combining both of them, I am getting a unique answer of yes. So C is the answer. Very interesting question.
So but in C also we are getting a yes and a no.
Yes and a yes. Where was the no? 1 minus 2. This is the question. Is 1 greater than minus 2? Yes. Is minus 1 greater than minus 2? Yes. After combining, only these values will fit. After you combine.
So when we took 1 and 2, then we got to know.
But 1 and 2 didn't come out after filtering, no, because 1 and 2 doesn't fit here, no. So can I say after combining I cannot use 1 and 2. I can use 1 and 2 only when I was doing statement 2 alone. Because statement 1 say x is greater than 3y. Will 1 and 2 fit here first of all? No, na?
No, sir.
Not fitting is not no. Not fitting means not qualifying only at the first place. Got it? Understood? That means I am not allowed to take 1 and 2 because it doesn't qualify in the first statement. So after combining means I can use, after combining means I can use only those values, no, which fit in both the statements. 1 and 2 fits in the second but not in the first.
Sir, I solved in a similar pattern what you did, and I was able to come down to option choice C and D. But after that, I was not able to select values which fit both the statements.
Yeah, so that's what we did. That's the reason. That's what we did.
You already knew the answer, but in exam, I'm not able to guess that what.
This is the case. Rahul, for the first time, let me tell you, whatever you have prepared so far, na, you already solved couple of OGs and everything, correct? You have never done this in your life.
Yeah.
So obviously it's the first time, na? So how do you expect, even when I was a student like you, when I did this for the first time, even I was not 100% confident or comfortable.
No, sir. But my question goes with Rahul's one. Like, how to guess? Like, it is easy. Right now, it's easy, right? Because it's -1, -2, and all. But
wait, can you please stop?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm speaking something. No, why are you interrupting me?
Oh, I'm really sorry. I can't hear you properly then.
Yeah. Rahul,
Yes,
anything you did for the first time in your life, physics, chemistry, biology, integration, derivation, was very, very fine on the first day in the first question? No, no?
No, I just wanted to get to know how to. I tried.
So you have to practice at least 50 to 60 questions with this approach. That is important, with this approach, because it's the first time in your life you are using this approach. How do you expect yourself to be comfortable the first time when you're doing something? I was also not comfortable for the first time. I was also 70-80% sure, or I practiced 40-50 questions on the same approach. I got calm. I was fine then.
Okay.
Yeah. One girl was asking something. Who was that?
Are you talking about me? Means I was just.
Yeah, Soumya. Yeah, tell me. What are you asking?
Yes, sir. Actually, I was just going with the Rahul's question, right? How to guess it? Like sometimes you get it in the first or second go, but if you don't get it, then what?
That's what I'm telling you.
That's why practice is important. Okay, I get it.
That's the reason I told you. Remember, question number 32 we are solving separately because it's a very important question. Because question number 32 is the mother of all the questions. Getting it? This is what we did in question number 32. Okay, it covers everything because it goes till the end. You see C or E, and combining. How do we combine? What do you mean by filtering out? Combining में कैसे? How do we filter out values after combining? But I'll tell you what, the best part about inequalities DS, agreed it is tougher and not tougher. It's actually not tougher. You know why it is tougher or trickier? Because this is the first time all of you are using this approach. Even if you have done other DS questions earlier, this approach of inequalities DS is a very unique approach. Correct? You have not done ever in your life. So obviously, at least, other things like back solving, plugging in, following the trend, trial and error, you have done, you have been doing the last a month or couple of months or whatever, last 2 weeks, whatever. But this is the first time you're doing something like this. So when you solve the question of the sheet with this approach, when you solve the Math Babel problem set and the OG 10th questions, DS questions with this approach, very importantly, then you'll be comfortable with it. That also may be 70, 80, 90%, may not be 100% comfortable. But I'll tell you what the best part about inequalities DS. I'll tell you what, very important thing. You know what? Even though it is trickier and all, but the best part is that this approach that we are doing is uniform. It doesn't matter what the question actually is. It could be less than, greater than, with more, without more. You are going to do exactly the same thing that we just did. You are going to use the same approach. In other DS questions of other topics, every time the things are different. Here, the best part is that your approach is going to be uniform, irrespective of what the question is. Like in question number 32, which you just solved, instead of x greater than 3y, I can give you x less than mod of 2y. Okay. Statement 2, instead of mod x less than mod y, I can say y is greater than mod x. Even if this is the question, the two statements, you realize one thing. You will do exactly the same thing what we did here. What is that thing? Okay. What is that thing? I'll start with a random value, like easy small values, 1, 2, 3, 4 types, and see what I'm getting. Okay. If I get a yes, I'll try for a no. If I get a no, I'll try for a yes. Same with the second statement. Yeah. Then I'll combine. What is combining? If at all I don't get either A, B, or D, if the answer is C or E, I will combine. How do I combine? These values which fit here should also fit here. These values which fit here should also fit here. Only those values can come out after filtering, after combining. If they don't fit within each other, I cannot use those values after combining. I can use only those values after combining which fit in both the statements. And then I'll again ask a yes and no. And whatever the answer is, I'll mark C or E. It's as simple as that. But this approach which I just said in the last 2 minutes is the uniform approach you are going to use in all the questions in this sheet and outside this sheet. That is the best part about inequalities DS. You don't have to think in, let's say if this is the question, okay? The question is X, whatever, greater than Y. And these are two statements. Do you have to think? No. In other topics, you have to think, other things. What is the speed? What is the distance? What is the time taken? What about this? Here you don't have to think anything because you know that the only thing that you can do is this, what I just said. There's nothing else to think. That's the beauty.
Yeah, so this is the only approach we can solve this question. There's nothing else.
Exactly. When there are a couple of things that you can do, you will think, or that should I what? Here, the beauty is that this is the only thing that you can do, and this is the only thing that you should do. Yeah, that means there is nothing to think. Let's start with 1, 2, 3, 4. The values. Check. Getting a yes, getting a no, this, that. And what is it all about? Positive, negative. Okay? You take positive, also take a negative. If you take negative, also take a positive, whatever. It's all about positive, negative.
Okay. That's really great. Amazing class, but I must say.
So I have a question. So I got the answer as C, but I put the numbers as -2 and as the numbers as 2 and -3. So those numbers are different from yours. Through a coincidence of fluke and या फिर method ठीक था.
Which
numbers
example?
I got. So this question number 32, the final numbers that I got.
-3. Arjun, 1 and -2 is same as 2 -3 or 3 -5 types. I told you, na? When I say this,
that's why I say, it's not a fluke or anything. Okay, thanks. Also, so what level question is this? Like 600, 700 generally?
Yeah, just to whatever. If you want an answer, I can say 700. Otherwise, the level is subjective.
Dhanyavad.
But it's a very nice question. And you'll see that. You'll see that how it is helping you when you solve the other question, the last two questions for a day, that is 30 and 34.